From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update on 2022 for May 7th, 2022. In this incredible recording, we go over those four stimulus checks which have landed in every U.S. state. And overnight, I was so proud of this countless viewers of this channel, as hundreds and hundreds of viewers in the live chat last night on Evenings LA revealed they had gotten their homework assignment done, got an application in for a fourth stimulus check overnight. Today we're going to go over more about what happened last night and how we're heading into LA 404. I'll go over your latest assignment for that fourth stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. See you at the very end. And first, if you have not become a member, make sure you become a member so you get those incredible checks across the recording. The link is at the top of the chat and pinned comment, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. We had a big week, and next week's going to be even more dramatic, as the Consumer Price Index number will be released on Wednesday. What does that mean for your money and your wallet? All the latest details in this recording. We'll turn to Build Back Better Act. That would give you additional, yes, you heard me right, additional four stimulus checks on top of those four stimulus checks already in your states. What are they? All the details in today's recording. Then we're off to SS300. What did J-Bal do last week? Oh boy. What is he going to do this week? And guidance on that front as well. We turn to student loan debt forgiveness and the major developing details out of the White House. And then off to 60 Minutes. And then we have a preview of what's happening, but stay to the very end because there is a lot of checks in this recording and some new surprises as well. Remember, become a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment, and then get that newsletter and get those incredible checks. It's a great day, and the toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. It may cost a little bit more money for butter. The toast may cost a lot more money, and there may be a shortage of them as well. The supply chain shortage, inflationary pressures, we're going to cover them all in this recording. It's a big day, and it's a pre-countdown to Mother's Day. Wishing everyone on this channel a happy Mother's Day, because every day really is Mother's Day. But the excitement starts right here as Mornings LA gets underway. Let's get the money, let's get the hugs from Mom, and let's get breaking news starting right now. And good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is May 7th, 2022, one day away from Mother's Day. Are you excited? I am as well. Have you become a member? Make sure you become a member right now and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, because that will show you how to get your fourth stimulus check. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. And in this recording, I'll show you how viewers got their applications in overnight. If you just found this channel today, welcome. I'm going to get you caught up very quickly in today's recording. We got a lot to go over. Stay to the very end. We're going to get your applications in on those four stimulus checks in this recording. Then we're going to do another application. Then I'm going to go over the breaking details going into next week and what happened going into the weekend. Well, what a big recording we have today. The four stimulus checks that have landed in U.S. states are in addition to the Build Back Better Act's checks that are currently still in the Senate. Those four stimulus checks in the Senate are Build Back Better Act. And it was a week with a lot of tumultuous economic data. That economic data all helps Build Back Better Act, because when the economy is stalling up like it is right now, it helps get you stimulus out the door. The bad economic data also helped SS300. What's happening this coming Wednesday? Oh, it's going to be a big day. On Wednesday, the Consumer Price Index number is released, and it'll show you how high inflation is. Why is that important? Let's go over the details right now. Four stimulus checks have landed in every U.S. state, and in this recording, I'm going to show you how viewers have gotten their applications in and how you can get your applications in as well. But in addition, let's say that again, in addition to those checks, Build Back Better Act is currently wrapping up in the Senate. Insiders of the White House believe that the White House will get this done by May. Why? Because the president's trying to get the refocus on the domestic agenda done and voted on before Memorial Day weekend. But more importantly, to get you a check before you vote in the midterm elections. The midterm elections are not inherently November. May is American now vote by mail. That's 3 months earlier. That means you would want to get a check in the hand by about July. That means that they're going to set the check in your hand by July. They want to get the negotiations on Build Back Better Act done in this month. And the negotiations are underway, again, with Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, and Joe Biden. But Joe Biden had a difficult week. Why? His week was really tough. I started this last week by saying to you, I think there's a big chance that Build Back Better Act goes by bipartisan support. What did I say then? I said, well, if the Democrats get it done, then the Republicans are going to get smeared in the midterm elections. Because once again, the Democrats got your money, the Republicans didn't. If the Republicans do it as bipartisan support, they're both protecting themselves. So they can both be fine walking into the midterm elections. Meantime, if the Democrats do it by themselves and it fails, as the party in control, Democrats are going to get ousted in the midterm elections. That was early in the week. What happened by the end of the week? What happened by the end of this last week was the new poll numbers came out. They were horrible. Nearly 70% of all Americans polled in a new CNN poll said they disapprove of the president's role in office. Whoa, that's a lot. 70% disapproval? Yes. The number one issue? The economy. And then this poll, the same next question in the CNN poll asked, who do you blame the economy on? Nearly 60% of the people polled blamed Joe Biden. There you go. So this now makes it different. Why? In my opinion, some Republicans may just roll the dice and say, you know what? Maybe just don't do anything. Maybe just don't do anything and hope people keep on blaming Joe Biden, and then they don't support Build Back Better Act, the Republicans. You hope they don't do that, but that's where it's making quite interesting. Why did Wall Street really wake up America this week? It woke up America in a way we've never seen before because I had told you that this economy is not doing well. But you've known that from me for 3 months. You've known for 3 months from me that we're heading a recession next year. But I don't think most of Americans didn't grasp that until this week. What happened this week? On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced its FOMC May meeting numbers for that interest rates. And Jay Powell did exactly what he said he was going to do. So what was the surprise? There was no surprise. Jay Powell doesn't like surprises. He likes to give you guidance ahead of time. That is how the Federal Reserve works. He wanted to give you guidance, and he did in the month of February. He said in the month of February, in the month of May, I'm going to do a half basis point increase. He likes to give you ahead of time the roadmap of where he's going, so he does not cause financial instability, volatility, shock, horror, and running for your lobster shorts. And with the exception of the lobster shorts, that's everything that happened this week. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced a half basis point increase. So we already knew that was going to happen. What's the big deal? What's the big deal is that most people didn't really get the memo. The memo is the economy is not working. And the stock market crashed royally, down 1,300 points. Then the day after crashed again. It was crashing before the announcement. Why do I believe Wall Street and America is now waking up? Because if you took this equation back to, let's say, April, like I just remember this morning. In April, I remember saying to someone, we're going to recession starting in January next year. They said, recession? I haven't heard anything about this recession. What are you talking about? Now, if you turn on broadcast media, everyone's talking about recession. Everyone's talking about stagflation. Stock market crashing, housing market crashing, auto sales crashing, bond market crashing. Everything's crashing, and everyone now knows there's something wrong going on here. This ain't the good times from February or January this year. That's good news for your Build Back Better Act, because the way that stimulus works is when the economy's not doing well, they want to give you stimulus. That is why Joe Biden's trying to refocus his domestic agenda back on that Build Back Better Act. And that's why it helps the Build Back Better Act, because when the economy's not doing well, people want to give you stimulus. It also helps SS 300. Why? Because the inflation is not yet down. And my projection is it ain't coming down. What is SS 300? SS 300 is swapping your COLA for inflation to give you a new benchmark. which would raise your benefits up lifetime. How does it work? At JoeBiden.com, the president in his presidential platform said he's going to swap COLA for inflation. COLA is your current benchmark, done every December. Last December came in at 5%. Good. No, you got cheated. You got cheated because inflation was 8%. You got a 5% increase in your benefits. You should have gotten an 8% increase. That is how you got cheated. Now, what happened and what is happening? If Joe Biden makes that swap from COLA to inflation right today, you'd lock in 8%. Thank goodness still. And that would be $200 more per month. Good. Not just this month, not just this year, but lifetime. What about the end of this year? 4% inflation is what I'm projecting. That would be another $100 on top of your existing benefits, SS 300. So that brings us back to Jay Powell. Who is he? He's head of the Federal Reserve. His job is to get down inflation. Uh-oh, someone's trying to get down inflation before we lock in those higher benefits? Yeah, his name is Jay Powell. And that is why you want Joe to make the phone call to the Social Administration head to swap that COLA for inflation right today, when inflation is today 8%. That's why this coming Wednesday, is so important. On this coming Wednesday, the Consumer Price Index number is released, CPI. It'll tell us if my numbers are right, if inflation is still 8%. Let's take a step back. All last year, not a single person in the United States that I saw, with the exception of me, had it right. I said that inflation was going to be 8% in December and not temporary. Jay Powell and Wall Street, all of them, said it was going to be 1% to 2% in temporary, with the exception of me and the professor at the Wharton School of Business who actually had a higher inflationary rate. No one was projecting this type of number, nor prolonged like I did. And what happened? It was 8% in December, 8% in January, 8% in February, 8% in March, and then in April, it went higher. Ooh, yeah. So what did Jay Powell do this week? He did half basis point. So that should have been no surprise to anyone. Well, stocks crashed. Markets imploded. Why? Because this, in my opinion, was the result of a week before that was very poor. The week before that said that there's major problems in this economy because not of inflation, but supply chain disruption. We have supply chain disruption, which means inability to get the products from the manufacturer to you, caused by COVID, number one. That was the oldest supply chain disruption. Number two, the March supply chain disruption, Putin invading Ukraine. But the newest and the worst of the three supply chain disruptions, the brand new one, China on lockdown because of the subvariant of Omicron. The factories are closed. The shippers are not shipping. And it came a week before this week, 2 weeks ago, when Apple said, by third quarter this year, it's going to be very bad for our company. We do not have the component parts to put into the iPhones. Those component parts are made in our factories in China. And the news continued to roll out, whether it was Apple or whether it was Amazon. The data from the corporate earnings the last week were very bad based upon supply chain. So guess what happened? On Wednesday, when Jay Powell said a half basis point increase, Wall Street suddenly seemed to agree with what I've been saying, which is they're worried now that what Jay Powell's doing with interest rates is not going to bring down inflation because inflation is caused by supply chain disruption. Jay Powell has no tools in his toolbox at the Federal Reserve to bring down inflation when it's caused by supply chain disruption. So what's going to happen? Here's my projection. My projection is Jay Powell's going to have 2 half basis point increases in the next 2 FOMC meetings, and you're still going to have inflation. And you're still going to have supply chain disruption. Again, let's bring this back to SS 300. Let's bring this back to Build Back Better Act. First, Build Back Better Act. This is all good because the economy is so poor, if the economy is so weak, and the economy is getting so much worse by the week, every week thereafter, then people will give you stimulus. Let's then look at the SS 300. The locking in of 8% by swapping COLA to inflation still can happen. Joe just needs to make the phone call across the board. Now, if Joe Biden's upset about the poll ratings, I got to tell you, if you were in the White House staff, if you were in the Economic Council instead of Brian Deese, LALATE, replace Brian Deese. What would you say to Joe Biden face to face? Joe, some things are not your fault. What Jay Powell's doing to these interest rates and recession, that is Jay Powell's fault. I'm sorry that he's doing this to you. But I got to tell you, Swapping that COLA to inflation, that's 100% your fault, Joe Biden. You just need to pick up the phone call and call that Social Security Administrator head. You promised it. It's in your presidential platform. It's not a political issue. It's an easy issue. It doesn't cause inflation. It doesn't cause anything problematic. And you win over a lot of viewers, including everyone on Social Security. You make that swap from COLA to inflation. That is why you have poll rating problems, because that is something you can do. That's not anyone else's problems. Now let's turn back to that SS300. What about Jay Powell? Is he going to get inflation down? No. My projection is he's going to raise your interest rates 2 more half basis points at the next 2 FOMC meetings, and you're going to get higher car loan payments, higher credit card debt, higher flexible mortgage rates. The 10-year Treasury note's going to go higher. The mortgage rates are going to go higher than 5%, and 10 years are going to go higher than 3%. And you're still going to have inflation. You're still going to have inflation. I don't think that he has the tools to fix it. And what do I think happened this week? I think Wall Street's finally waking up to that as well. I think they realize, wait a second, Jay Powell has no tools in his toolbox at the Federal Reserve to get down inflation when it's caused by supply chain disruption, and they think he's not going to fix the situation. He's going to give you inflation and recession, which is called stagflation. Let's bring it back now to Build Back Better Act. That's why it's important to get that Build Back Better Act done. And here's some things that are important for you to remember. First, the federal government spending money does not cause inflation. So Build Back Better Act, which would increase spending at the federal level, does not cause inflation. Ironically, Build Back Better Act would prevent us from a recession potentially. Why? A recession is defined by slowing the growth of the economy, the gross national product, GDP. We're currently at probably about 4%. It was supposed to be 7.1% in April. It came in 6.9%. Then it's 4%. I project it's going to 0 by the end of the year, and then negative in January next year. Why? Because I'm projecting 2 years of recession starting next year. Who said that since me? Deutsche Bank. And other banks have said about 30% projection. How do you prevent economy from shrinking? Well, you increase spending. You increase spending, which increases earnings at companies, which increases growth of those companies and increases our economy. And how do you increase spending? Stimulus. It's so simple. It's so simple. That is how you prevent GDP from shrinking, and that's how you prevent recessionary pressures. And again, I'll say it again. The federal government spending money does not increase inflation. So there you go. Let's go over to the great news, though. The great news, though, is that despite all this loom and gloom about later this year, 4th stimulus checks are in every U.S. state today. Wow. A 4th stimulus check is in every U.S. state today. And the viewership of this channel in this last week has made me so proud, more proud than I think you've ever made me before. Why? Because we started this week with LA 101, where I asked viewers to be able to go into the live chat and write this expression. A 4th stimulus check is in every U.S. state. If you write that expression, then you've graduated from LA 101. If you're in the live chat right now, you just joined this channel, or you want to recap it with them, the new viewers, the new members, then go in the live chat right now and write. A 4th stimulus check is live in every U.S. state right now. And you are ready to graduate from LA 101. What happened on Cinco de Mayo? On Cinco de Mayo, I asked viewers to answer the following question in order to graduate from LA 202. Tell me which 4th stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. Tell me the letters, go in the live chat and write the letters of the 4th stimulus checks that are available in every U.S. state. And if you're in that live chat right now, do it again. And let's see if you get it right. Now remember, I'm going to say it slower, so watch the word that I emphasize. Which 4th stimulus checks are available in every U.S. state? Some of you, when you initially answer the question, you failed because you didn't listen to the word every. So you were a little bit aggressive. So write in the live chat right now. Then, we're going to recap what happened last night on Evenings LA. Last night on Evenings LA, I graduate people from LATE 303. What is LATE 303? I gave viewers an assignment on Cinco de Mayo. I said the following. I need you within 24 hours to get an application on file for one of those checks that are in every U.S. state. I need you to get an application on file in 24 hours by May 6th for one of those four stimulus checks. If you did that, then you feel so proud. I'm going to recap what happened last night in that evening's LA program. And if you're new to this channel, I'm going to show you how to get graduation and graduated from LA 303. Next, last night I debuted on Eating to LA in primetime, LA 404. How do you get ready to graduate from LA 404? We'll recap that as well, and I'll show you the assignment to get you graduated. And then at the very end of this video, we have more exciting news. Plus, I have my insight about something that's really fascinating across the board. It's a great morning. We're just getting started. Stay with me in the commercial break. We're going to go over, after the commercial break, we're going to go over these incredible checks, how to get them. We're going to go over the additional checks, and then we're going to get ready for the big surprise later in this video. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, the toast is toasting and the butter is buttering. During the commercial break, make sure you become a member if you haven't already. Go to the top of the channel, pin comment, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Click that link, join, become a member, get that YouTube alerts Monday through Friday. And get ready to get a four stimulus check in every U.S. state. If you're in the live chat, write right now which checks are in every U.S. state. I'll check in the live chat during the commercial break and see if you got the answer right. And then we'll go over the incredible details of LATE 202, 303, and 404 after the commercial break. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Mornings LATE continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on May 7th, 2022. Happy Mother's Day. Tomorrow's beautiful Mother's Day in America, but every day is Mother's Day. Congratulations to Diane, who during the commercial break said correctly, a four stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. Which ones are they? I'll go over the answer in just a second. If you didn't post your answer, post it right now. Which checks are four stimulus checks in every U.S. state? How are you? We're live on air from Santa Monica, California on a beautiful big day before Mother's Day. A four stimulus check is in every U.S. state. That is what we learned in LA 101. Viewers of this channel graduate from LA 101, but simply go into the live chat and writing this expression. A four stimulus check now is in every U.S. state. They also became members, going to the top of the chat in the pinned comment, becoming members. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Congratulations to the two members who just joined in the last 4 minutes of this video. Hundreds of people joining per day. Membership link is at the top of the chat and pinned comment. Then get that newsletter Monday through Friday. All right, let's turn to that answer to that question I asked before the commercial break. Which fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. state? If you're like Diane and correctly answered A, B, and C, congratulations. You have graduated from LA 202 like Diane. The four stimulus checks that are in every U.S. states are A, B, and C. What are they? We'll go over them in a second. In LA 303, I gave viewers a homework assignment on Cinco de Mayo. On the 5th of May, I said, within 24 hours, you need to pass in the following homework assignment. By the 6th of May on Evenings LATE, I need to have you do the following homework assignment. Apply for one of the 4th stimulus checks within 24 hours. And I gotta tell you, I've never been so proud of the viewership of this channel like last night. In Evenings LATE's live show, Evenings LATE's 1 hour special broadcast last night for May 6th, we had hundreds and hundreds of people in the live chat who had applied for a 4th stimulus check in their state, did their homework assignment, and graduated from LA 303. Wow. Now, if you're new to this channel, just became a member, then I'm going to get you caught up right today and show you how to graduate from LA 303 as well. Let's go over the details of how to do this, starting right now. First, I said to the viewers, you can choose whichever check you want to apply for. And let's go over what happened last night in that live chat. I said to people on Evenings LA, who applied for check A for their homework assignment? And we had about, I think it was about 150 people who said they applied for check A for their 4th stimulus check application on the day of Cinco de Mayo and got it done for their homework assignment by May 6th. What is check A and how do you apply for it? Let's go over the details. Check A is a 4th stimulus check in every U.S. state. It is $6,500 to $12,000. It's the homeowner's grant check, the homeowner's weatherizing grant check. The income qualification are so simple. Single individual, $75,000 less. Married couple, $150,000 less. And then if you're on benefits, you can get it as well. Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and veterans benefits. Last night on Evenings LA, I said who had applied for check A, and the answers were overwhelming. If you're in the live chat right now watching this show and applied for check A for your homework assignment for LA 303, write check A right now, and I will regraduate you from LA 303. Let's now go to check. Let me continue with check A. So how do you get that application in on that check A? First, you want to go to the membership newsletter. Then you want to go down to check A in the membership newsletter. When you see check A in the membership newsletter, you press a link. It'll send you to the nationwide website. Then you choose your state, like Tennessee. Then choose the Tennessee Homeowners Weatherizing Grant and apply. So simple. Then check B. I asked last night on Evenings LA, did anyone get their application in on check B? And boy, it was about 300 plus people. What is check B and how do you apply for check B? It's a $15,000 to $80,000 check, but it's averaging about $66,000 to $80,000 for viewers who have already gotten it. Income qualification, simple. $75,000 less, single individual. Married couple, $150,000 less. So simple. How do you get check B? Just almost like how you get check A. 1, you go into the membership newsletter. 2, you go down to check B. 3, you find check B in the membership newsletter. Then you click the link that sends you into the nationwide website for check B's application. It looks like this map. And then you choose your state. Let's say New York, or let's say Florida, actually. Click the button, and then you go into that website and submit, and you're done. How simple is that for check A and check B? I mean, that's about as simple as it could be. You take your finger. You go down in the membership newsletter to check B or check A. You find it. You find the link. You push with the finger. Then it'll send you to the application. You push, type your name in and phone number. Push to submit, and you're done. The finger is so useful in this situation. It's just so easy. If you apply for check B as your homework assignment for LA 303, post in the live chat right now, and congratulations. I will re-graduate for you from LA 303. For check C, we had about 150 people last night in that Ian's LA show who applied for check C. How do you get that check C, and what is it? Let's go over the details. It's a $2,000 approximately monthly stimulus check. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. And how do you get that check C? So simple. You go into the membership newsletter. Then you go down to find check C. At check C, I tell you where to call, what to say, and how to do it. At check C in the membership newsletter, I say call these 15 places. So you pick up the phone and call those 15 places. What do you say? I write in the newsletter what you say to them. Rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage assistance because of COVID, things like that. And then how do you do it? I show you in the membership newsletter. You call all these different places and you submit and you're ready to rock and roll. And last night I was so proud of viewers of the channel because I asked them how many of you who got an application in for Check C overnight. And there was a lot of them. Incredible. Throughout last night's broadcast, there was an incredible sense of accomplishment by the members that were in the live chat. They were given a 24-hour turnaround time to go apply for the checks which they had learned in the prior class that are in every U.S. state, A, B, and C. They chose their one check of the three, their choice. They applied, and they felt so overwhelmed by their achievement of getting an application in. But more importantly, as a community, we felt that warmth, that spirit, that accomplishment, because when you can do things on the spur of the moment, it's so important. Now, what was the assignment passed out last night on Evenings LA? The assignment was for LA 404. In LA 404, I'm giving you to this coming Monday to apply for a stimulus check. So if you applied for an A, then now go apply for a B. If you apply for a B, then go apply for an A. If you applied for a check C for water, then go apply for a check C for your electric bill. So simple. That homework assignment is due Monday. That's LA 404. Be in that show on Evenings LA on Monday evening, and I will graduate those of you who pass in your homework assignments. Moreover, if you become a member over the weekend, which hundreds of you will, I'm going to give you an extra day because I know you're going to get that membership newsletter on Monday through Friday, of course, Monday. So I will give you to Tuesday to do your homework. I'll go over more about this later in this recording, but now let's turn to the breaking news on that student loan debt forgiveness and that sixth stimulus, and then line it up for those other surprises later in this video. Student loan debt forgiveness. The President of the United States has determined that student loan debts should be forgiven, but how much, where, and when? The President forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation, then who went to work in the nonprofit sector, the public sector, individuals whose debts were procured by frauds by the university. The President is now forgiven. Good. And then if your debts were in default, he's put in good standing. Also really good. Finally, the President has now signaled that your debts are not due till September instead of May. And finally, if your debts were procured by fraud by the university against you, they are now forgiven. Now, this again is one of those situations where you'll look at it and say, hey, if the President's upset about his poll ratings, this one is his fault. Before I go into the details of it, let's remember, student loan debt forgiven does not increase inflation. Increasing inflation is not caused by this. Student loan debt forgiveness means you're increasing the national debt. Increasing the national debt does not cause inflation. Ironically, forgiving student loan debt prevents recession again. Why? If you don't have to pay $500 of student loan debt every month, then you have more money to spend. You spend the money on businesses. Businesses make more money. The economy grows. So it's actually a good thing. But let's turn back to those poll ratings. Joe Biden's very upset about his poll ratings. Again, here's an example where he is only to blame for this one. The President of the United States came into office by saying he's going to forgive some student loan debts. Okay, he did. But he also said he was going to forgive all student loan debts for a certain amount of money. He didn't. He delayed. Then he said, I'm going to tell Miguel Cardona to take a look at the situation. He's the education secretary. Well, weeks went on and there was still no determination. That was not good. Then 2 weeks ago, he had a press conference about Ukraine, and he was asked, are you going to do $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness? He was very upset by the question. I'm not considering $50,000 of student loan debt. Why so testy, Joe? Now, the follow-up question was, are you going to do another number? I don't know, and I'm not going to tell you, but this is the quote. I'm going to be in the process taking a hard, good look at whether there'll be additional loan forgiveness. This is where, if anyone's to blame low poll numbers, it's to blame it on himself. Why? He should have made a determination on the number, how much he's going to forgive the first 2 months of the administration. He has now spent over a year saying, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. Stop thinking about it. Either say you're going to do it or don't do it. If you don't want to say it, don't want to do it. Say I don't want to do it and move on. Every time that this lingers around, he looks more upset about the question. And then people keep on asking the question. Bottom line is I think he's going to do $10,000. He would have gotten all the winning applause for giving $10,000 if he had done it the first 2 months of the administration. Now, people are going to say, oh, we had to wait a year and a half for him to say something that we should have just heard very quickly across the board. Now, congratulations to all the credible viewers who have got to student loan debts forgiven from this channel by watching the videos, including Chef John Meyer. Viewers are getting about 6,000 to 9,000. Now, no, I am no expert with student loan debt forgiveness, but I want you to write down the following words. I want you to write down the following words. They are IDR credit. Next, I want you to write down public service loan forgiveness. Then, write down income-based repayment programs. Okay, why? I need you to go to the Department of Education's website. Then look at the press releases. Read all the press releases for about a month, because Miguel Cardona is giving you guidance on what he's doing. He's taking the laws, the statutes that govern student loan debt forgiveness and changing them so more of your debts are forgiven. Here are some of the recent comments. We have an ongoing rulemaking. They'll take a look at what statutes should qualify for IDR credit, and there may be potential for us to improve those rules going forward. Great. Then, we'll make additional debt forgiveness under the public service loan forgiveness programs, and then others under the income-based repayment programs. Wonderful. That's how we rock and roll. Now, let's go back to those 4 stimulus checks and my commentary and what's happening this coming week. Tonight on Evenings LA, I'm going to go more in detail about what this Wednesday date is this coming week. That's Consumer Price Index number, that's CPI. It's a big number. Why? It'll tell you how high inflation is. And inflation, in my opinion, is somewhere around 8% still. 7 high, low 8. If that's the case, then that will continue. The narrative that I started on this channel about 3 months ago, but that Wall Street woke up with this last week. What is it? Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, does not have the tools to bring down inflation, and he's heading you into recession. Supply chain disruption coming out of COVID, Putin invading Ukraine, and Chinese factories on lockdown because of subvariant Omicron cannot get solved by Jay Powell. And if it cannot get solved by Jay Powell, what is he going to give you? He's just going to give you higher inflation. And that higher inflation will be coupled with recession. That will be stagflation. That is why it is important for you to hoard cash, keep cash in these bad economic times. Why was this week different? This week was different because for the first time ever, I think most Americans understand there's something wrong with this economy. They don't potentially know what it is, but they understand something very bad is happening. That bad, you know what it is. We're heading into recession for 2 years, starting in January next year. And that's why it's important for you to get that 4th stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. Now, let me go over something that happened last night because this is so important. Remember, go to the top of the chat, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcium VIP. Let me go over something that happened last night. 2 things, actually, that are so important to know about. First, in last night's Evenings LA, I was trying to graduate people from LA 303, and there were hundreds of people. People who did Check A, graduate. People who got a Check B application on file, graduate. People who got a Check C on file, graduate. We had gone through each of them. And suddenly the viewers just felt this wonderful, overwhelming sense of accomplishment. And that sense of accomplishment was just inspiring. They had been given 24 hours to get their applications in on file. And as a family, they felt great together. They felt they had done this. They had listened, they had learned, they had pounced, and together they were so happy that they had graduated. Then what happened? After all that, 3 people jumped into the live chat, and all 3 said the same thing. They said, can someone else go get an application on file for me? I gotta tell you, it was one of those rare moments where I just sat back and I just smiled. Because the people who had had only a 24-hour turnaround time to get their own applications on file had watched the videos, learned, took notes, remembered, educated themselves, opened the newsletter, read, and had gotten an application on file for themselves within 24 hours were being asked by people who had done nothing at all except put out their hand and said, can someone else get an application on file for me? I got to tell you, those people went after those 3 people, rightfully so. They said basically, I'm not doing an application for you. Who are you? You do your own application. We all in this group, 300, 400 of us in this live chat last night, they all got their applications on a file. They did their homework. They did their homework assignment. And then 3 people jumped on the live chat and said, can you do my homework for me? That is cheating. We don't do that here. People came into the live chat and actually told other people to do their homework for them. Can you do the application for A for me? Can you do chat? No. You should have seen the reaction of the diligent graduated students. They said, who are you? We ain't going to do your applications for you. You go do them yourselves, like we just did, and we just graduated. I got to applaud those wonderful viewers who absolutely said that last night, because that is exactly what Forced Stimulus is about. It's about being a Purple Hawk, pouncing, getting the money, and learning how to get the money and applying right away. Your application, not someone else's application. All right, let's go to the second thing that happened last night. This is actually a little bit funny in a strange way. As you know, Evenings LATE starts at 5 o'clock every night, and Evenings Countdown is at 6 o'clock. What a great way to plug the shows. 7 o'clock is Street of Stimulus, 8 o'clock is Evening Extra, and 9 o'clock is Sunset. The Evenings LATE show was playing last night at 5 o'clock, and early in the video, I was at LATE 101. I said a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Can you write that in the live chat right now? And viewers were. Suddenly you could see someone's name popping up in the chat. They had just joined as a member during the live chat. Welcome, welcome. They just joined during the 5 o'clock evening show. I was asking people to write in the live chat if a forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state. That person who had just joined said, is there a forced stimulus check in my state? Viewer said, yeah, just join. Can you just listen? There's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. The viewer stayed silent. And then I went to LATE 202. I asked viewers, can you tell me which of the checks are forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state? And I went over them. And viewers started answering the questions. And this new member said, the forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state are check A, B, and C. I was just overwhelmed with joy that a member had just joined, and within 15 minutes of a video, Evenings LATE, she had already graduated from LATE 101 and LATE 202. What a fast learning member. You know, Evenings LATE is about a 1-hour show. So by the end of the video, that new member was about to write something and it didn't post because the video was over. The video sent us to the 6 o'clock show, Evenings Countdown. I went right in there. And I saw that member jump into the 6 o'clock show as though no one knew her. I saw her because I had just seen her successes in the prior show. The 6 o'clock show started to play, and guess what she wrote? The new member wrote, I have called and I found out that I don't qualify for any of these forced stimulus checks. Really, honey? You became a member at the 5 o'clock show on this channel. And a forced stimulus check for check A you could have applied for within that 1-hour period, but you're not going to hear back on the application within 15 minutes. You could have applied for check B during the Evenings LATE show, but you're not going to hear back whether your application is approved within 15 minutes. And you could have picked up the phone and called one of the places for check C during the Evenings LATE show, but you certainly could not have called 15 places in 1 hour and been turned down by 15 places in the phone. I said, what are you doing here? That's exactly where the laugh is. The viewer really thought that we, or the member, the new member, really thought that she had called for check A, which you don't call for check A, call for check B, you don't call for check B, and then called all 16 places for check C within 30 minutes and was turned down. That is the type of person who's going to get left behind, because the person was ready to say no with a story, which was not a true story. Overall, here we go. So excited for you. So let's get ready for your homework assignment. Your homework assignment for Monday, if you are already an existing member, is to apply for another fourth stimulus check. So if you got check A, I want you to go get check B, application file. If you apply for check C for gas, then go apply for check C for heating, and go do it by Monday. If you become a member over the weekend, then I'll give you another day to get the incredible newsletter on Monday night, and then apply over from Monday to Tuesday. Congratulations to all the incredible viewers who have learned and listened and done so well. I am so proud of you. The economic landscape of the American society, our economy, our growth is getting bad. It's getting bad. It's going to get worse. The change in the last 7 days is that most Americans now know that there's something wrong going on. They may not know what it is. You know what it is, because I've been teaching you since last summer. I've been telling you the word recession since April. Now they're hearing recession on broadcast media. I've been telling you about stagflation, which is recession and inflation, since April. Now they're starting to hear it, but they're not sure what it is. I told you that the economy is going to get very bad very quickly. And they sense something's happening, but they're not sure what it is. They see it. They see the stock market down 1,300 points one day. The NASDAQ posting the most consecutive weeks of down since 2012 this last week. Dow down 6 consecutive weeks. They're seeing housing starts down 4 months. They're seeing growth rates shrinking. They're seeing auto sales, new auto sales down consecutive months, and now the used car sales dramatically down last week. Data is getting weak, and the data means that you want to get every fourth stimulus check that is available. Join me next on noontime today, and we're going to go over all these incredible checks more in detail. Then afternoon's LATE heats up in the afternoon. Then a brand new evening's LATE at 5 o'clock. We'll go over more about that incredible check A, B, C. I'll graduate more of you because there's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. I'll graduate more of you tonight from LA 303 and some of you from LA 404 if you did your homework assignment overnight. Become a member of the newsletters at the top, the membership links at the top of the channel, the pinned comment. Get that Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Become a member and get those incredible checks right now. You deserve them. Don't wait. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful day. Happy Mother to all the mothers across the land. From the shores of Santa Monica, from my home to your home, big money, big days, and big excitement. We're just getting started. Hope you have a beautiful day. Happy Mother Days to everyone. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.